Hey guys, gonna do the maintenance video today on the Autococker lower tube kits. Specifically, mine is a CCM lower tube kit. They're all pretty much the same though, taking it apart. Actually, they're all exactly the same taking it apart. So, except for the IVG on the CCM IVG, it takes a different Allen key, but that's it. So, I think the CCM or not the Autococker lower tube kits are very intimidating to some people and very misunderstood because people don't really know how they work. Autocockers went out of production, the good ones at least, went out of production quite a while back, and people are now purchasing them and putting pump kits on them, which is great, which is what I did. And they're not really sure what they're doing with it, and it can be a little bit intimidating. So I have mine stripped down right now, and I'm just going to show you guys how to take the lower tube kit apart. As you can see, there is the CCM IVG right there. Great kit, the CCM. So just going to run through all the parts you need to take off. Back block, pump arm. My back block does not come off the pump arm. It should, but it doesn't for some reason. It works just fine though. Usually the pump arm stays in the pump handle. Take your pump handle off. Return spring if you got one. Barrel. Bolt. If you got a hopper on there, take that off. The feed neck, you don't need it on there. Push pin for the bolt. The trigger frame with the two trigger frame screws right there. Take that off, whatever trigger frame you got. Regulator and macro line. Tank, if you got that on there, if you got an on-off ASA. And cocking rod, but keep this, pretty much with you because you'll need this the way I do it, at least. So, let's start off with taking this thing apart. Once you've sweet spotted the reg, which for Chipley internals is the CCM internals is 300 psi output in the regulator. What you want to do is you want to remember how many turns in your IVG is. So you want to put your Allen key in the IVG, like so, and then you want to back it out. So we'll go 1 turn, that's 2 turns, 3 turns, and I'm a little over 3 turns from flush with the CCM internals. So that should be, and then just try to remember that just how many turns in your IVG is once you've chronoed it and everything. It's kind of a hassle to get it down to field regulation again. It just takes a little time, little paint, little air. So things you don't need to do again if you remember it. So now that you've got out your IVG and your mainspring, the hammer is in there. So now what you want to do is grab your cocking rod, screw that in to the hammer, and then it can take some adjusting, so that's why I suggest put the cocking rod in there to push the hammer back and forth. But once you find the lug, start unscrewing it. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, obviously. Lefty is to push the lug back up into the gun, or up into the hammer, the body of the hammer, so that you can pull the hammer out so it's not hitting in that slot there. So you're trying to get the lug up into the body. Let's see if that works. There you go, comes right out. There's the lug. Go ahead and wipe that off if you need to. Throw some, just oil on there. Any kind of oil works. Just like anything you'd use on like a Tippmann internals or something like that works just fine on the hammer. You can't really overlube the hammer, I guess. So now you got your valve and your retaining nut, and you also have this retaining nut right here. You will need your 5/32 Allen key somewhere in here. Find it. Alright, so now you just want to unscrew this retaining nut right here. Oh, actually, keep that one in. Keep that one in the bottom. Take out your valve removal tool for your autococker. I ordered the CCM one. It's a great look. It's great looking, great feeling tool. It works amazing with the T-handle, nice and long for you to throw down in the body of the gun and go ahead and start turning the retaining nut out. With the Chipley internals, the retaining nut should be red. It doesn't have to be, but I guess it should be. Alright, and then that'll come right out. There it is. Got a little something on there. Alright, so that's it right there. It should be red, like I said. Set that aside. Now you've got your valve left in there and that one retaining nut on the bottom. So that's the only thing holding in the valve. So take out this retaining nut. Do it by hand for the rest. And now the valve's just sitting in there. Just feel free to give it a little tap and it should come right out. The static O-rings, the O-rings that do not move, you can put some Dow on there, Dow 33, Dow 55, either one works just fine. But now that you've cleaned everything up, you know, and got everything ready, you can go ahead and put it back in the gun. So I think that's going to be part 2 of this video. So go ahead and check that one out if you want to see how to put all the internals back in the gun.